So here we have a dead Mobius. I was flying my quad quite a while ago and dropped it into a pond. Quad was fine, but this little thing did not survive, unfortunately. So seeing as I got it so recently, I decided to try and fix it. And I actually ended up working it out. So this video, I'm just going to explain kind of the process I went through to work that out. So the first thing I did after drying it out was to plug it in using the USB port. And I noticed that I could still access all of the files on the SD card on the computer, and the lights actually still worked, which made me think that the whole circuit board was still working. So with that in mind, I ended up opening it up, and that's very simple. There's just two screws at the front end near the lens. All you have to do is unscrew those. I've already done that. And then you can just take it apart. And when you take it apart, there's also normally a battery stuck to the inside of this one here, which is just connected into the connector in the top left corner next to the lens, just over there. So once I got the multimeter out, I was poking around and couldn't really find anything on the board. Didn't really know what I was doing, to be perfectly honest. So I moved on to the battery, and this is where I found out something quite interesting. So this here was the old battery that was originally in it. And I discovered that if I touched the multimeter to these outer two terminals here, on the outside, which are connected directly to the battery, I got a reading, in this case 2.64, which means that the battery itself was actually running all right. But then, when I tried these inner two pads, so this guy here and this guy here, you can see there's actually no reading. And what this circuit does here, the one that's on the end of the battery, is it controls all the charging and the discharging of the battery. So it's actually quite important. So while the battery was fine, the circuit attached to the battery was not. So I figured the simple solution was to buy a new battery. Now, before I show you what happens with the new battery, with the old battery, if it was all plugged in, as it should be, one would expect that when I pressed this on button here, that some lights showed up. But no matter how long I press it, or how often I press it, it does not turn on. So, I got a new battery, straight from Banggood. It pretty much, this is all it came with it, which is all you need, all packaged up nicely. Plug it in to this top bit here. And then it actually has a more reasonable cable length here as well. It slots in here quite nicely. And then it was just a matter of pressing that button and boom, on it came. And now you can see it started, I think that's flashing like that because I don't have an SD card installed. But if I had an SD card, it in theory should start recording. So now is the time to put in a SD card and see if it is indeed functional. So you can see it looks a lot better, but I think I just need to adjust the focus on the lens and also update the firmware as well. So as you can see there, it seems to work perfectly fine again, which is fantastic. So for the low price of, I believe it was 6 or 7 Australian dollars, I was able to buy a replacement one of these, put it into this Mobius, and now the thing is working again, which means I didn't waste all of that money dunking it into a pond. So yeah, that's pretty much everything, and thanks for watching.